This is Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org here in Mexico City, Mexico, and I'm joined by Jose Rodriguez. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin here in Mexico, Jose is the man. When the Mexican Central Bank here announced that Bitcoin is dangerous, Jose said, hey, hold on. And Jose had a private meeting with the Central Bank of Mexico regarding Bitcoin. Now, Jose, how did you get a meeting with like the central bank here in Mexico? What's the behind the scenes story? We're going to get into a lot of things Bitcoin use here in Mexico, but holy cow, how did that happen?
Hi, thanks, Luke. Well, I have been working in financial services for about 10 years now, and when I saw got involved with Bitcoin about 3 years ago and have an exchange running here, when I saw that issue a warning. What I didn't want to happen is what happened in Ecuador and Bolivia, that they started banning Bitcoin. So I said, before something bad happens, like I want to get involved with these people and let them know that Bitcoin is not dangerous, but it's going to be a financial option for financial inclusion in the country. So I contacted them and said, hey, I want to meet with them. I want to meet with you guys. And actually, the head of financial of payment systems called me up and said, okay, I want to see what Bitcoin is about and what are your projects.
Oh. So the official notice that the Mexican government sent out about Bitcoin, what did they send a notice about? What was the official government announcement to Bitcoin here in Mexico?
It was a warning saying that they didn't back up Bitcoin and there wasn't any backing in Bitcoin, even any official or government, and that they wouldn't be able to back any settlement done with Bitcoin at the time. So what they saw is not of legal tender. And these are the warning, and these are the risks that you're running if you're using Bitcoin instead of our money.
The fiat money.
That's right, the fiat money.
So they didn't decide to ban it. Did they decide to tax it? Are Bitcoins taxable here in Mexico?
No. Actually, there are no rules. There are no banning. And after the first meeting, we had two meetings. After the first meeting, they said, it's not going to get banned. There's not going to be any rules. There's not going to be like anything. Like we have bigger financial problems right now than Bitcoin. Yeah. So there's going to be no taxing. There's going to be no rules. There's going to be nothing. So just be sure that no like organized crimes, drug dealers, or money laundering is happening with Bitcoin in Mexico and your companies.
Has it been happening here in Mexico?
No, actually no. Like most people that I found is to pay international services, which if you go to a bank, it's really expensive to pay for something abroad.
Yeah.
Because of first of all, they'll give this huge markup to pay in a foreign currency, and afterwards it's gonna take so long. So most people that know that you can pay services with Bitcoin or products outside, they will do it. Mm-hmm. Some of them are for speculation, other ones are for savings, and other ones is to test out financial services.
Yeah. Now, what's the current status of Bitcoin here? Is it widely adapted? I mean, I remember being in Acapulco just a few days ago, and my friend pointed out you could go to this ATM here and take out money through Bitcoin at a local ATM. What's the current status? Is there a lot of people using Bitcoin? Where do you see it going? You know, where is it right now here in Mexico?
Well, besides the users, for example, that we have in Unison in Mexico, I normally talk with other people that run other companies, and we have even done meetups and events, and we've been talking about the users in Mexico. We've done an estimate that there's around 3,000 users actively using Bitcoin, not daily, but actively. And besides the exchanges, as you mentioned, there are some ATMs, Bitcoin BTMs as they call them, Bitcoins. There aren't as much as there should be. There are like 6 in the whole country, and merchants are starting to use it mostly where there are tourist spots. Mm-hmm. So we still need a lot of growth and evolution in Bitcoin. We're like taking off just this year.
So I know you run the exchange. How's the exchange going, and how do you guys process everything here in Mexico?
Well, the exchange that I'm partner is this Unison. It started in Argentina over a year ago, Um, what we do is we integrate Bitcoin to the financial system. So we make withdrawals through wire transfers, and we receive through wire transfers through money. And we have integrated also payment processors. So that is a way for people to get into Bitcoin, either in Argentina or in Mexico, and we are expecting to open in other countries.
Wow. So as far as everything that's happening here, Bitcoin allows a lot of opportunities and a lot of possibilities that the banking systems are not offering. What hopes and kind of dreams and what kind of possibilities do you think could Bitcoin change here in Mexico?
For example, something that I've noticed is most people here in Mexico don't invest, for example, in stocks. And stocks is a way of having diversification of your portfolio. And when you talk stocks, you no longer talk only about companies. You also talk about assets. You also talk about commodities. You also talk about futures. Like ETFs open up all this big financial options for people to diversify their portfolio. And what I'm seeing is people are bringing this into Bitcoin. Like, you want to buy gold, you want to buy an ounce of gold, you no longer have to physically buy gold, or you no longer have to buy gold ETF. You can do it through Bitcoin. You buy silver. Like in Acapulco, we saw Swiss Metal. Swiss Metal accepts Bitcoin. You can get like a $10,000 vault with metals that has all this eccentric and exotic metals besides the normal ones. And also currencies, like you want to go in and out of a currency, you don't have to go to a bank, you don't have to get an FX trading platform. You can do it also through Bitcoin, and that is one of application. Another one that I found like really useful and that is still in the startup levels is lending. Like, you normally go to the States, you use your credit card. Credit isn't that expensive, but then you go, for example, to Argentina. You come here to Mexico, and if you think that interest rates here in Mexico are expensive, which they are, you can get a credit card for 100% APR, 50% APR, and if you're low income, up to 200% APR if you want to buy, for example, a TV. Well, when I went to Argentina, interest rates are even higher.
Wow.
So if you can get that money through lending, that's a great option. And what I have been involved most lately, and will probably get into becoming a partner, is crowdfunding platforms.
Yeah.
For example, the coin that you saw of the Acapulco server coin, loaded with Start Coins, which is a Max Kaiser coin focused into crowdfunding. Mm-hmm. I did the whole funding through crypto, through his platform. That was over $10,000 in a month. That would have been very hard to sell it here locally, only in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So crypto's opened you the world to make a business.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you about Startcoin because I seen Max Kaiser was out here. Startcoin's now listed on your exchange here in Mexico as well, where people could buy it. About some of the projects that you've been working on and some of the successes. Can you speak a little bit about just Startcoin and kind of your integration and your experiences with it?
Well, Startcoin is an altcoin based on Bitcoin, and it started off about a year ago with Max doing a crowdfunding coin. So he made the StartJoin platform, which is where we got the crowdfunding. It's similar to Bitcoin, only there's some differences, like for example the confirmation time and other things, and the amount in circulation. But for example, I got my funding through there. They just closed out a deal to fund a politician in UK. And yesterday I was speaking with Rudkowski, the guy that the rapper that did the hip hop, that did This Is What Happens When You Call the Cops, yeah. And he's looking for funding for his new single, Good Cops. And I had already told him about the funding that I did and that this was an option. And he told me that actually today he was going to start looking into making the project and having the listing up to have the funding through also Startcoin and Bitcoin in the StartJoin platform.
That's awesome. Where can people find out more information about you, Jose? and the work that you're doing.
Well, my email is Jose Rodriguez at Altis, ALTIS, .pw. My Twitter is Jose Pimpo, Jose at Jose Pimpo. And, the companies that I run is Altis and Unicent.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jose, for doing this walk with us. We just made it here to the Presidente Palace here in Mexico on one of the busiest streets here. Jose does a lot of interesting work. Definitely go check him out. It's really interesting seeing Bitcoin even expand here in South America. I'm really excited, especially about the micro lending aspects that could open up a lot of crowdfunding, not only for other individuals who are doing like-minded projects, but also people who are in need, people who need help and support and won't be screwed over by the crack loans and the huge interest rates about everybody else. And Bitcoin opens that up, and Jose's trying to get that out there to everyone, especially with his exchange. So definitely check him out. Thank you again so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this walk and talk of the scenery of Mexico, don't forget to click like and subscribe. We're going to have a lot more content coming your way here on youtube.com/wearechange.